Salvation mais de la spectateur du monde entier. N'hésitez à pas partager mes vidéos et les utiliser pour enseigner à vos équipes et les leads et Six Sigma. J'ai animé des ateliers dans le monde entier et des praticiens certifiés dans 12 pays. Merci. Guys, welcome to the analyze phase. Let me put this one and we'll proceed. As you can see, I'm wearing a not so formal attire because I think I need you to relax because this is the analyze phase and we'll be talking a lot of mathematics here. So just to summarize a little bit, during the define phase, we listen to the client, right, to their VOC, voice of the customer, wherein during the last business review, they told us that they are getting customer dissatisfaction reports from their end users. And it is really important that we value the voice of the customers, right? Because they are the source of our revenue for the call center, right? So it's really imperative that people who are, especially uh, us, the Six Sigma practitioners, should be the first to jump into the fray when we hear these kinds of feedback from the client. Feedback is a gift. It allows us to improve, look at our weaknesses, and improve. All right. So let's start the analyze phase, and let's just go along with the ride, guys. And again, as what my premise said, that let's relax and let's ensure that we are not pressured or stressed out by the topic. So I'll show you this slide, and I'm sure you have seen this slide. This is the 12-month data of our service level, which we suspect uh, is the cause of the customer dissatisfaction. So take note of the chart. You'll see there that our Y, which is the dependent variable or the metric that we are trying to improve on, is service level. And you have learned also somewhere in the previous videos that service level is a continuous data. Sometimes we call it pseudo-continuous because it ends at 100%. But that's for another topic. But for the purpose of this training, let's consider it as continuous data. So the value of service level can range from 0 until 100, up to 100. So you also see in this chart, it is a line chart, and obviously it is trending downward. And I use the word trend because R square is above 0.05, which in this case is 0.73. Definitely it shows a strong trend which is downward, because the R square is an indicator if there is a trend on our set of data, and we have 12 data points, which is sufficient to establish a trend. So hope you are taking screenshots of the slides that I'm showing you, and take a look at this, and don't stress yourself out on anything that you see here. I'll make sure that you understand what we're talking about here. So here in this particular slide, just remember uh, that our service level is trending downwards, which we suspect is the one causing the customer dissatisfaction. All right. All right. So with your permission, guys, I'll show you another slide. This is what we call a histogram. All right. So what is a histogram? So a histogram is again a chart, like a bar chart, showing the number of frequencies that a certain value occur within our data set. So, for example, you can see there a defect area because, as you noted in our previous slide, there are three data points that are below 85%. And since our target is 85%, so they belong to the defect area. So the service levels that are 85% and above, as you can see at the right side, right side of the histogram, are service level outputs that are meeting and exceeding our target. So for purposes of this project, we'll focus on the defect area. All right? And maybe you will ask me, how do we do a histogram? So at the last part of this session, in the debate phase, after we discuss control, I'll show you some tutorials using Excel, how to do these charts. So, but right now, I'd like you to relax and just focus. So for this particular slide, just remember that among the 12 data points, there are 3 data points that are in the defect area that we suspect uh, are causing customer dissatisfaction. All right? Okay, so with your permission, I'm showing you the next slide. This is, if you recall, the data collection plan that we had during the measure phase. All right? So we have here X1 until X7. So we have 7 possible root causes arising from the brainstorming that we did during the define and measure phases, right? So you've seen this, and this is what we will use when we collect data. All right? Okay. So so far so good, right? So now I'm showing you in Excel the data that we have collected. So we collected data on the week number, the service level, the absenteeism, the percentage of newbies, the average handle time in minutes, the number of special issues that occurred during that week on week, the downtime, and the volume. So this is formatted in such a way that when we collaborate with the green belt or the black belt, they could easily use this when they do deep dive or additional hypothesis test using several tools that they have, which normally the yellow belts do not have. All right? So for purposes of this lesson, just take a look at this. I hope you took a screenshot and just visualize that when we collect data, it will be in this kind of format. All right? Okay. So for purposes of this workshop, and we are making it simple, let's just tackle 2 possible root causes, which is absenteeism rate and the HT. And both possible root cause, they are represented by X, are also continuous data. So our Y is continuous and our X is continuous as well. So one of the tests that we can use is regression. So and that is called the data-based approach in analyzing data. So in this particular slide, I already did a regression on absenteeism and service level. So what is regression, guys? So it is just looking at whether 2 sets of variables, with the Y and the X. So the Y is service level and the X is absenteeism rate. Based on the data that we have, we are trying to figure out whether there is some sort of a relationship, such as when service level go down, absenteeism goes up, right? Probably that's our hypothesis that when we have many agents that are absent, service level will be negatively impacted. However, based on the data that we have, if you look at the R square, it is below 0.05. What does that mean? It means that there is no correlation between absenteeism and service level. So definitely, absenteeism cannot be faulted on its own that it is a primary root cause for the failure in service level. See, with the use of data analysis, we can actually strengthen our belief, or it can disprove our belief, right? So, in the next slide, I did the same study with average handle time. And lo and behold, average handle time has a very low R square value, which is 0.097, which means that, again, there is no correlation. So, same findings. Average handle time on its own is not impacting our service level. All right? So, how are you finding so far? Again, at the last part of this workshop, after control phase, I'll show you some easy tutorial on how we can do regression. So stay tuned, guys. And this is very easy. You can do regression in 1 minute, guys, using Excel. I'll show it to you. But for now, I'd like you to focus on the importance of the R squared. Alright? So, to summarize, we tried to look whether there is a relationship or correlation between service level and absenteeism rate, between service level and average handle time. And based on a low R squared, which is below 0.05, uh, we we are facing at two variables that are not correlated with each other. So therefore, average handle time and absenteeism rate cannot be said. We cannot conclude that those variables are impacting service level based on the data that we have. Again, guys, based on the data that we have. So that's the database approach. So we also have what we call a uh, process door approach, and the best way to do this is doing a gemba. So a gemba is a Japanese term. It just means that you, being the project member or the project leader, will go in operations and observe what's happening. So, some of the suggested tasks that you can do: observe how the agents do their work, observe the team leaders, observe how they take their calls, how they use their tools, how they interact with the customers. And maybe you can do that by buddying up and trying to do some notes and figure out whether there are a lot of other things that are not adding value to their work that the agents are doing. Maybe they are going to the restrooms frequently, or doing other tasks that are not related to work. So we call that process waste. So take note of that. Of course, although of course when the agents know that someone is watching them or buddying up, they definitely would not do those things, right? So you can do that. Also, another Gemba methodology is by way of trying to a step back and look at other processes within the call center. So during the fourth quarter, October, November, and December, remember, we dipped on our service level significantly. We are red. Those are the data points that are within the defect area. Look at other processes. Maybe it also happened to them. Ask around. Ask SMEs what their thoughts are. reflect on your past experiences. Maybe those things can give you a better uh, a better feel of what's really happening, of what's really causing customer dissatisfaction. So observe all of those. And once you have done the Gemba and statistical analysis, all you need to do is to create a summary. And this is where you will submit that report to a green belt or normally to a black belt, who will now be evaluating your findings, and maybe they will do their own independent findings, so that you or the project team will come up with a definite set of root causes, which will lead you to the appropriate solutions. All right. So I'm showing you a very rudimentary, very simple example of an executive summary report. So let's read the bullet points here. So these are our findings, that HT and volume, sorry, that HT and absenteeism rate are not significantly impacting uh, our service level. So if you look at the slides, again, remember, you're looking at the R squared, right? So, statistically, those two possible root causes can be discarded at this time. All right? Because based on statistics, based on statistical analysis, they are not significant. Also, the next bullet point, observations during Gemba showed that the agents are doing an efficient job. So nothing to worry there, no red flags. But when you observe the team leaders, you notice that they do not have an updated uh, uh, set of data when it comes to downtime, which is, if you revisit our previous workshop in the measure phase, is a violation of QCA, because uh, remember, data must have integrity. And if data is not updated, then it is also not usable, the U in QCA. So we are reporting this as a red flag. But most notable of all, based on our Gemba and collaboration with SMEs, we found that other processes in the call center also suffered dips in service level during Q4 because of the following reasons. Multiple town halls done by executives, party preparations, obviously, for the year-end party. And then definitely, probably during the early part of the year, the agents are not updated on their online courses, especially the BCP course, compliance courses, etc. Thereby, they are cramming during the fourth quarter, eventually removing their focus on their actual work. So think about that for now. Let's pause and think about these findings and put in the comment sections your observations as well. Let's pause. Alright guys, I'm back. I hope I was able to simplify the analyze phase. See, I told you. We will simplify. So just review this video, watch, let's say, 2-3 times, and when we move to the improve phase, we will review this and we will have a test for understanding. But for now, simplified analyze phase done. And I hope uh, you are getting curious about the workshop. Six Sigma is easy. Thank you.